Will be no recording. And first, Professor Kaladidis will give a brief introduction into the Office of Scientific Integrity at IMBB and issues related to ethics in research. Thank you.
Okay, good morning, everybody, from me as well. It's, I think, the first time I stand here on a podium since COVID started. So that's very nice to talk physically to people. So I'm going to give a brief presentation about what this Scientific Integrity Office is about. This is an initiative that was undertaken by the previous director, and it's strongly also fostered by the current one. And of course, as well, it has a strong support of the Scientific Council. Unlike the other initiatives that the Institute has taken, like, for example, the Gender Equality Office, which is a kind of a European obligation based on the new Horizon Europe grants policies, this is not an official obligation, but it's a moral obligation, we think, to the whole community. And I'll try to explain what this office can do for all of us, for the community. As an introduction, to say that none of the members of this office, which I hope in the future will be rotated and there will be other people instead of us, none of us are specialists in the issue. We're just people that have some experience and strong beliefs that this is for the good of the community. That's what we are. We're not specialists in scientific integrity issues. We're learning on the go, as more or less you do as well. So this is not this story of scientific integrity is not something that we brought from our head. It's something that the European community in many ways and levels has supported. And this also comes from their official documents. And it's based, scientific integrity as they understand it, and as we want to understand it as well as members of this community, are based on 4 principles: reliability, honesty, respect, and accountability. It practically has 2 main branches. One is a branch that has to do with doing research in a way that our results are correct and reproducible. There's something that can be used by the community and make the community feel safe that we do appropriate work. But at the same time, it's extremely important that all the people that work within science also feel welcome in this environment and feel that they're not just being used as, let's say, parts of a machine to produce results. It's very important that all research is conducted in a way that leaves everybody happy. It should be a win-win situation. And that's what these 4 main pillars of scientific integrity mean. So if we take them, reliability is obvious. It means that what you do is reliable and that can be reproduced, that can be used. Honesty is a little bit more, I mean, it's an obvious word, but it's a little bit more complex what it means. And partly it also means that the work you do is not only a work produced to make our careers better. In the stage where you are, where you're a postdoc, it's extremely important that what you do improves your CV. That's what you do. Especially in this stage where you are, it's extremely important that you improve your CV. But it cannot be the only reason why we do research. It has to be a part of a wider societal work. Now, what is very important, and I want to stress that, and we'll stress that later as well, is that all this has to be done with great respect to each other. So everybody that works in science should show, it should come without a question. But of course, as you very well know, and we have all experienced such situations, respect is something that doesn't come automatically to everybody. But we, as an Office of Scientific Integrity, would like to oversee that every work done in science should be with the due respect to all the people that work, independent of the position that they have. And accountability means that whatever we do has an effect on others. And especially for us, the PIs, I mean, it is extremely important that we realize that people work very hard in our groups to produce results in a non-ideal situation. Like, for example, most of these people don't have permanent works, they have fears about the future and so on. And we should be we should continuously realize that we all have to feel accountable to each other, to the work we do. So this is more or less the mission of the scientific integrity at IMBB, and I'll brief you very, very shortly about this. It has two main parts. One part is to educate each other, all of us, including ourselves that are in the Scientific Integrity Committee, to educate us on what this scientific integrity is about. And you will soon realize, I mean, soon, not only today, I mean, in the next few months, that we will start organizing seminars, not by ourselves, because as I said, we're not experts. We're going to, this is probably the last seminar that we organize, that we do ourselves. We'll organize seminars where specialists from abroad mainly will come here and try to give you information about how to become a better researcher. So we'll start with an EMBO course on scientific integrity that I'm going to show you in a while how it's going to be organized for postdocs, for senior postdocs here at IMBB. It will be through a Zoom link, but nevertheless, it's going to be an EMBO workshop on that. Hopefully, we're trying to organize in May to have scientific editors from big journals to come and give you also lectures about what the journals expect from you when you send your manuscripts out. What are the minimal requirements to be considered as a high quality research? And we're trying to get editors from also top journals. So the requests are top strict. Yeah. So we're going to organize things like that. But at the same time, while educating ourselves, this is something that will take time for all of us to be educated in these issues of how to do research in an optimal way, so that our results are reproducible and honest and the best possible. At the same time, we are here to guarantee that the environment in which you work is as good as possible. We have no magic wand, so we cannot do, we're not the IMBB fairy, so we cannot do things that will make your life beautiful. But we are here to help if any of the aspects that relate with the four main principles, reliability, honesty, respect, and accountability, you feel are breached. And the reason why you filled up the questionnaire is to get a feeling how common this is. I can tell you that already, as a very recent office, we have dealt with a few cases of alleged misconduct of behavior. Yeah, so it's something that goes around, and you have to keep it in mind that this is possible, and we are here for all of us, for all the community. We are just members of the community. The idea of this committee is that we all realize that the working environment is an environment which is open, that everybody sees what happens, and we all have to work and behave the way that the whole society accepts as appropriate, not as me as a PI thinks that I could or should. Yeah. We all live in community standards. We do not live in a private world. Even in the private world, these things are protected, as you know. Okay, so as I said, we are here to help you if there is any, if you think that any of these main pillars has been breached through anonymous or through official way with your name. You can send us a message in various ways, either find us in person, as it has happened up till now, or even leave us an anonymous letter somewhere in the secretary or in a pigeonhole outside the secretary, in the secretary's box with CC our committee, claiming what is your problem. It can be a problem of behavior in your lab. It can be a problem of realizing that somebody is falsifying results, or is you think that they are using your results in their research, or that you have not been treated properly in an authorship and so on. All these things can be discussed, but we're not judges, as I will show you in a while. Okay, all this is not based on thin air. It's based on specific documents that the EU has, and you can find them on the site of the Scientific Integrity on the IMBB page. So if you go in, you can find both the European Code of Conduct for Research Integrity and the code of conduct for the recruitment of researchers and the charter for researchers. They're online documents that you can find. We also have additional documents that are around that we have not yet placed on the page, on our web page, but we will soon do. Like this one, for example, so you don't accuse me of plagiarism. The source is here. It's a Nature paper from 2020. And it gives the 9 ways to move from just talking about scientific integrity to implementing it. And if you see that these 9 topics, which is research environment, supervision and mentoring, integrity training, ethics, integrity breaches, data practices and management, research collaboration, declaration of interest, and publication communication, you'll see that there are lots of issues there. There are some issues which are quite sensitive and we don't realize every day that they exist. For example, supervision and mentoring. Until recently, I had not realized that supervision and mentoring is something that is directly related to scientific integrity, but it is, because it is absolutely basic in creating a healthy environment in growing and producing science. So the main aims we have is to set a background for scientific integrity with documents and presentations, and to educate all of us in what the golden standards for scientific research are in Europe. So we all have, it is very important that we all talk about what is the optimal environment and the optimal practices to do research, because then we can find what is not going well. And the second is to function as an official manager of complaints and issues raised by the members of the community, of course, only on aspects of scientific integrity. Okay. We shouldn't be confused with the ethics committee, that it's also functioning at the 4th level. The ethics committee deals with ethical issues in your experiments. For example, you using animals in a humane way, or you do scientific research in a way that follows our obligations according to the law. We have nothing to do with that. We are just here to verify that we are at the level higher. We are not at the level of the law. If there's any breach of law, you don't come to us. You can come to us for advice to see if really it's a breach of law. You come to us if there are things that are just under the radar, if they don't go into something which is illegal. Okay, now, it is very important to stress that the office is not here to function as a court. We have no executive power. We cannot force anybody to do anything. We're just here as a supervisor that watches what goes on, can suggest and will suggest solutions, and try to find win-win situations. Our goal is to find situations where everybody in the end is happy. Our goal is not to punish anybody, and we will not, and we cannot. We have no executive power. We have no power to punish anybody, and we don't want to punish anybody, amongst other reasons, because we're not experts in this. We're just members of the community. Most of us rather experienced. And also, we cannot decide which are the rules. The rules are set by the European scientific community, and I would say the international and global scientific community. They are more or less set on paper. There are documents for this, and we are here just to safeguard that these rules are taken seriously, not to write them again or to change them or modify them. There are 4 people now on this office, so it's Veta Papacosta. They're all here now, either inside or outside this room. It's Veta Papacosta, the medical school. It's Harav Lata, both here and at the medical school, myself, who is here at the Department of Biology, and Inya Sidenkiamos here at the IMBB facilities. This committee was designed on purpose to be present in various buildings, hoping that you will find the person closest to your environment, to your position, or to your physical location to contact with if you have any questions or if you want to file any complaints. And finally, as I said, you can place anonymous reports. They can be placed either if they want to be anonymous. Usually up till now, people have come with their names and they want what they say to be recorded. Yeah, but this doesn't have to be this way. Even an anonymous complaint is very important. And I'll tell you why it's important. we cannot act on an anonymous complaint. But if there are 10 anonymous complaints about me, and then somebody comes in person, I cannot claim that there have not been problems with me until now. Yeah, everybody will say, well, no, the committee will say, but we have 20 complaints about you. It's just that people were so scared that they couldn't even come in person. This is extremely important. It's extremely important any complaint to come in so that we have a register of what's going on, even if we cannot proceed, because if it's not with your name, we cannot really proceed unless it's something very serious. If it's a very serious breach, maybe we will have to contact the director and see what we do. And you can send emails to the integrity at IMBB Post-doctoral, and we are here, all of us, we're here for questions. So, and that's what the main reason why we're all here, so that you place questions.